All right, good morning, everybody. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the Beechcraft King Air 350i going from Amarillo to San Antonio, Texas. I apologize for the slight delay getting started this morning. I was doing some homework. We'll talk about that as we get in here and get things started up. And we'll be on our way. Good morning, Joseph. How are you? Nice to see you here. All right, let's go in here and get this. We need to change the time. Let's go about right there. That should be sufficient. All right, let's go in here and get this done. So yeah, I was really perplexed about yesterday's flight, and so I got up. I was kind of scrambling this morning, and but I wanted to try to get into get back into their TBM 930 and see if we could figure out why yesterday happened. And it turns out I figured it out. It was just I didn't pick all the right stuff per se to make it all happen accordingly.
Amarillo clearance delivery.
Oops.
Guard 29er 7 ISR to San Antonio, ready to copy. Guard 29er 7 is cleared to San Antonio Airport as filed. Take off runway 4 climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure frequency is 1
Hello, Amin.
85 squawk 1522.
I'll be. You guys can read through all the stuff,
Guard
and
29er
we'll be.
7 cleared to San Antonio Airport as filed. Take off runway 4 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Pause.
Departure on 127.85 squawk 1522. Guard 29er 7 readback correct. Contact ground on 121.9er. Good day.
Yeah, I'll get in the chat in just a moment, folks. Let me get the plane set up, and then I'll check the chat. So bear with me. Flight director on. All right, so we need to get the plane started up. So we need that on. Oh, I gotta make sure the fuel's all selected too, and we gotta get that set. Okay, everything else should be good. All right, let's go ahead and get it started up. So that one started, Go ahead and turn off the starter engines. And I think everything else is good to go. All right. Good morning, Mick. I'm good, Joseph. I'm good. Just, yeah, that really perplexed me yesterday. I'm not going to lie. That was a very tough procedures. And we want to go, yep, make sure our approach is loaded. 13 rights. Rifle. That's the one we want. Oh man, See, now it won't let me pick runway. Okay, load it. Yes. Approach. ILS 13 right. Transition. What? Oh, golly. Crap, I didn't write it down what the transition was. Dang it. It's this one. Alamo. That doesn't seem right. Oops, nuts. Let's try this TV. That doesn't seem right either. All right. I guess we're going to go with that one. I need to start writing this stuff down, quite honestly. All right, we'll just leave that one right there. All right. Got loads of military action going on. Huh. Okay. Hey, Crankman. I look up more info about this vacuum. If not wrong, it's called Windsor. Huh, okay. Cool. Alright. Okay, let's get our IFR taxi clearance. And we'll be on our way.
Amarillo ground guard 297 with whiskey ready to taxi IFR.
Guard 297 taxi to and hold short of runway for using taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 118 decimal tree when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 4 using taxiway Alpha guard 297. Amarillo ground guard 297 requesting pushback.
Guard 297 pushback request accepted.
All right. Well, hopefully it works out for you there, Crankman. Good luck to you. All right, so I think we're all set. I think what I need to do is I need to write down the transition point so that I pick the right one when we're coming in for our landing, so that, you know, when we load it into the G1000 NXI, that, you know, we've got the right information in there. So
Amarillo ground guard 297 requesting the end of pushback.
Guard 297 request to end pushback received.
all right, clearance is that. Bring that back on. All right, and I just need to do a few other things before we get going. Turn this on. go 1,000 feet. I think that should be perfect. All right. Come on, plane, get moving. Oh, doggone it. It did come. Son of a biscuit eater. Thank you, engine number 2. Shoot. All right, now we're back in business. Goodness gracious. All right, let's hope. What am I supposed to get my vacuums now? I'm using both of them, and I hope the winds are vacuum on one. Huh. Well, hopefully you get what you want there, Franklin. So I've been through Amarillo a couple times. Not ever been to the airport, but I've driven through Amarillo, I think twice. And I've been to San Antonio for almost a year total. About 8 months, I think, roughly. Have to trade your 75 Hoover. Wow, there's all these names of vacuums that are just... Wow, okay. Hoover Celebrity. Wow. Interesting stuff. All right. Well, we'll be in the air momentarily. Hopefully everything goes much better than it did yesterday. I think it will, but we're gonna. The thing is that it's a bit of a learning process as well, to make sure we have all the correct information entered into the system, so that we don't have any. You know, when we hit the approach button, it guides us in, and we're all set. So, but again, if we've discovered that that's not going to be the case, we can just fly it in manually. It's fine. So, but happy to have everybody here. Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday, middle of the week. Training a super rare vacuum to an uncommon vacuum, but we don't really have that much money, and I don't have a choice. Oh, understandable. You know, it sounds a lot like I was watching. I think it's a guy who does like everyday carry. He does, you know, all these stuff that, you know, it's called EDC, everyday carry things like knives. You know, like a pocket knife, flashlight, you know, all these little things. And he talked about how there was a lot of regrets that he had traded or sold stuff to get other things, and then he regretted it later on. And it sounds, you know, like you know that you have to do it because there's something else you want out there, so you have to give up one thing for the other. And then hopefully the one that you trade out will come back eventually, you know. So, but sometimes it's not always, that is not always the case. But yeah, I mean, that is a very you know, I guess in the same way, you know, people who own rare cars, there's something else they want in their collection, so they're like, well, I'll trade this for this, or I'll sell this car to get the money for this other car, you know. So
Amarillo Tower Guard, 297 ready for IFR departure runway 4. Guard 297 altimeter tree, 0.28 with 004 at 29er. Cleared for takeoff, runway 4. Cleared for takeoff, runway 4, guard 297.
perfect. All right, let's go. So I'll be flying, I think, unless something changes, we'll be flying again with Captain Arish tonight. Continuing our adventure of Australia. I think tonight's route is going to be fairly extensive because we're going to be zigzagging over some different areas of southern Australia before we land. So it's not like we're just going from one point to the other. We're going to do a little bit of sightseeing as well. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a flight tonight. But I'm going to try to do the whole thing with them just to get those hours logged in. I don't think my flight yesterday, I looked this morning in my logbook, the flight yesterday from Telluride to Oklahoma City did not count. I didn't get the hours for it, so it got removed. So, all right, let's make sure we are all set. I believe we are. Let's go. So, no craziness today. Nice sunny weather with some clouds. So, it should be a fairly good flight, I think. All right, there we go. We are on our way. Come on, plane. You need to be climbing, not...
Contact Albuquerque Center on 127.85. Good day.
Like he was just kind of cruising there. I was like, we got to get up in the air. We're coming right over the main. That's a, I guess that's the main airport part. Yeah.
Guard 297 Albuquerque Center, altimeter tree 0.28. Continue to WAPI as planned.
All right. My vintage 70 is in like new condition, so I hope I'm getting something for it. For yeah, I don't. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. Hopefully it works out for you. Oops. Let's get those up. There we go. Now we should be cooking with Crisco. Look at that. So there's a famous, well, if you're a country western fan, a famous song by George Strait called Amarillo by Morning. And he references, of course, Amarillo, where we just left from, and San Antonio. He's a cowboy who's making Amarillo by morning up from San Antonio. So there you go, little country and western references there. Oh, look, our first pole dancer of the day. Look at that. That's fantastic. Yes, I do like Rush. Yes, I've listened to Rush for quite some time. Some very interesting lyrics, for sure. I've read a bit about, you know, where they got their ideas from and everything, but yeah, I've always enjoyed their music. Yeah, I wish I could have seen them in concert once. I would have loved to have done that, but yeah. I started listening to their music when I was in Germany. I just happened to buy it's a live album. Hold on. What's it called? I'll find it here. Rush. No, that's Rush. It is the album called A Show of Hands. Yes, A Show of Hands. I did like that album very much, and that was my introduction to Rush, and I listened to that album quite a lot. And then when eventually I got into more of their stuff, got some of their other albums, their earlier stuff, not super early, but the stuff that led to the Show of Hands tour, and then a lot of their new stuff. Some of it was a bit like but yeah, generally I really did enjoy their I did enjoy their music. It sucks that their drummer died. Yeah, I really did enjoy their stuff. Perfect. Still right there. Excellent. So we will continue right there. Yeah, Spirit of Radio is good. She's Got It All by Kenny. I don't know that I've heard that one. I've listened to some Kenny Chesney before, but I don't think I've ever heard that song. I've never, you know, I don't listen to like country western stations. It's just that I remember when George Strait did the song "I Hate Everything," and it's a really powerful song, and then I saw that it was only available on his 50 number ones, so I got it basically for that. But there was a lot of music in there that I'd not known of his before that I was like, wow, this is really some good stuff here. So yeah, I might need to dial it back just a bit on this climb. Let's try about there, just to keep our speed up. But if I'm going to listen to anybody country, it's usually George Strait. I think I finally did see, he was in a movie where he was like a rodeo cowboy. It was like when he was still young and up and coming in country music, but I watched that. It wasn't too bad of a movie. Can't remember the name of it. Ah. That was not. Oh. Oh, I didn't know he'd served in the army. Interesting. Pure country, that's what it is. Country singer, not a rodeo person, but a country singer, yeah. He was in the played in the Army band at Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. Interesting. I did not know that about him. Learn something new every day. So we'll go to our 29902 once we get up to 19,000 feet. And we'll proceed from there. We'll look at San Antonio's barometric pressure so that when we're coming in, we'll be at the right barometric pressure for everything. So I don't know what to expect. I'm pretty sure I picked a nice straightforward in approach into our final. I don't know. This is going to be a bit of a surprise. So, but yeah, I have to start. If I'm going to plug that information in, even like we're doing the Cessna 172 has a similar system, I got to make sure that I have all that stuff punched in correctly. I need to write down all that stuff, so. All right, let's go to 29902 here. Now, I did see years ago, I did see an artist called Neil McCoy. He had played at a local country western bar in the Bay Area. A friend of mine got, it was for my birthday, he got us tickets to see him. And so the gal he was dating at the time and her friend, the four of us went there to see him. It was nice. We had basically kind of front table seating. We were right off the stage, but we could see the whole, it was really good. I want to just climb a little bit slower here. Right about there, I think that's good. So we get keep our speed up and we're not losing too much speed. Yeah, I'd never heard of them, but it was a fun little concert. When you have those, small venues, it's nice. So that was a nice birthday surprise gift.
Good day.
133.5 guard 297. Fort Worth Center guard 297 is passing flight level 195, climbing flight level 250.
Guard 297 Fort Worth Center. Continue to Wappy as planned.
Ooh, a little bumpy here. Alright, we can turn off our landing lights for sure. Oops. Landing taxi, there we go. I tell you, the best concert I've ever been to, the one that I've had the most fun at, and I've seen him twice, is Jimmy Buffett. It is such a great time. I saw him twice at the Shoreline Amphitheater in California, in the Bay Area there, and it's so you have the regular stadium kind of seating, I guess. You know, it's all kind of a half circle, I guess. In front of the stage, and then behind that is all just like a huge grass field. And so, of course, if you get the grass seating, it's much cheaper. And so I went twice, and watching him from the grass, it was just, you had the big jumbo screens and everything, so you could actually see him on stage. Because otherwise, you're going to need a pair of binoculars, kind of. But yeah, really good, really great time concert. Had a lot of fun there. And the one that I probably, I did see you two during the Joshua Tree tour. That was really good. But I think the one that always sticks out to me is when I saw the Pretenders the first time. And I think it was a group. The first group that opened for them was called Phantom Rocker and Slick, who I'd never heard of before, and I don't think I've ever heard of since. So they came out and did a few songs, and then Iggy Pop, who, if you know punk music, big punk legend, came out and did another opening act, and then the Pretenders came out, and then he came out during the show towards the end and did a little bit of a few songs with them, and it was just amazing. And I did get to see, the first concert I went to was Heart, and Stevie Nicks came out and played a couple songs with them, I think towards the end, like for the encore or something like that, and that was a big deal. So yeah, it was good stuff. Really enjoyed that. I did get to see Sting once. Saw Dave Matthews Band. Saw Van Halen, the Sammy Hagar fronted version of Van Halen. And I did see Robert Plant in concert. Oh. Yeah, good stuff. We got this nice crosswind. Let's see if we can, I forget how I got to that point the other day. Or I brought that up. Wasn't there. Was it map maybe? Nope, that's not it. I wanted to bring up the wind, but I can't remember how to get it on there. It was, I think, it's under setup. Display. Nope, that's not it. Oh well. It's got to be a pretty big wind that's coming across. That's got us at that angle. This is not. Let's see. Say initial separation on. Oh, I have initial separation on. I don't know.
Guard 2907 climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain flight level 350 guard 2907.
Oh, let's ask for lower. That's pretty high. That's like right at the limits of our capabilities. I'd rather go to...
Fort Worth Center guard 2907. Request flight level 300.
Guard 2907 climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain
I don't
flight
want...
level 300 guard 2907.
I don't want to go right up to the very limitations of our plane. That kind of worries me a bit. That is very well. It's higher than, well, like the limit of the plane. The safest altitude it can operate at is at 35,000 feet. So what I should have done is before I started this flight, I should have lowered it to 30,000, so that way it wouldn't have told us to go to 35,000. So I'm hoping that by just asking for 30, we'll be within, you know, it'll be fine. And it's not like this is a super long flight where you want to continue to climb to cover distance and stuff like that. So yeah, this is kind of I need to figure out, we're losing a bit of oomph as we're climbing. That's the part that I'm concerned about, watching that speed just drop ever so slightly. And I think I just need to change this just a bit, see if we can get some speed back, because I just don't want it to kind of fall apart on us. So I mean, we're climbing, and that's fine. We're not super fast climbing up because we just don't have the, you know, this is a turboprop plane, but we don't have the same oomph that maybe like the Daher TBM 930 does, but we'll get there. Because I think by the time we get to that point, we should almost be ready to start descending anyway. It's kind of like, you know, when I did a flight from, what's it called? Huntsville to Birmingham in Alabama. It's basically you take off, you climb just ever so slightly, and by the time you get to any kind of a cruising altitude, either you're there for just maybe 10 minutes or less, and then you nose over and land. So, you know, we're getting closer. By the time we get to this marker in front of us, which is WABV, we're almost, you know, like a big chunk of our flight is already taken care of. So now it'll just be that we go to, we're going to start descending eventually into San Antonio. So. But unfortunately, the flight that we're taking, the path that we're taking, or the route, we've got one heck of a crosswind that we're contending with as well. So, but we're okay. We're not in any danger. I don't think nothing's going to happen. So, let's see what other. So let's go back here. Let's go to the flight plan. Let's pull that up. Back to flight plan. So yeah, so we got one more marker. So ABI and then STV. Yeah, so we're doing just fine. So I'm going to pull the procedure and put this up, and that way we are ready to activate our approach when needed. So yeah, tomorrow will be Yellowknife to Hay River in the Cessna 172, and yeah, so that should be a fairly short flight. I don't think it's going to be very long, so that should be a good one. And then Friday we'll be in the Cessna executive jet, the faster one, going from Tucson to Jacksonville, and then. Again, just to reiterate, if you forgot from yesterday, if you want a flight on the first Friday of March, I need you to start getting that information together so that I can look at those flights while we're en route to Jacksonville, and I can get a sense of what you're asking for and say yay or nay. If possible, if we can have 2 short flights together, then I can knock out 2 requests on that first Friday. So if you keep it under an hour and that's sufficient, that's fine. I can knock out 2 of them. So think about that as well. Don't think about 4-hour, 5-hour, 6, 7, whatever hour flights. Think about just something fairly reasonable, that way 2 people get their flights done. So think about that. But don't think about also, and I know it's fine if you do, but don't think about it as, oh, I want to do a A320 service or a 730, you know, like all that kind of stuff. Just think of something different. Be creative. You know, if you want me to do like a dirt strip from somewhere in the middle of nowhere to another dirt strip, I'm happy to do that. We can do that. We can make it interesting. I think I've got enough aircraft that can handle such a request.
127.45 for guard 2907. Fort Worth Center guard 2907 flight level 300.
Guard 2907 Fort Worth Center. Continue to Auntie as planned.
Kind of quiet day in the chat today. That's okay. You never know. Sometimes it's a little bit busy. Other times it's very quiet. You just never know what you're going to get. So at least we're not being told to go to 35,000 feet. We're good where we're at. So I think we're going to stay right here. That shouldn't be a problem. Oh, those clouds just kind of rendered differently there for a second. It was like it just updated. I sent you a message, Joseph. Yeah, on Discord. You have a look at that. So we are really, this is just crazy to see this. So we got one more marker after this, and then we should start descending into San Antonio. Alright, no worries. I just figured I'd let you know I messaged you. That's all. No worries. Whenever you get to it, that's fine. We have another, I guess, update or whatever. The weekly update to the marketplace will be tomorrow evening sometime. Sim Update 8, I think, from what I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, is slotted for sometime in April. It sounds like really we're not getting anything as for the Xbox at least until April. So the rest of this, tomorrow and then all the other Thursdays in March, of which there will be, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Thursdays. So we're not, those remaining 5 Thursdays in March, I don't expect anything like jaw-dropping in the marketplace. So, but that's okay. It is what it is. So, I think April, if the predictions are correct, and the not the predictions, but the overall hope is correct for April. If there's not any significant improvement in the marketplace offerings, it's gonna get bad. If not by, at least by the end of April, not maybe necessarily at the beginning. If not by the end of April, if there hasn't been some really good stuff coming out, things that people have been wanting and asking for and waiting for patiently, the forums are going to blow up. They're going to be like, we were told this, and now we're, all the developers are saying, well, we're waiting for Sim Update 8 to release. We're working on the development of our aircraft within the new Sim Update, but they're still in the beta testing of Sim Update 8. So there could be a lot of changes that they have to work with once Sim Update 8 is released. So, but yeah, no, I don't think between now and the end of March we will see anything significant. If it is, it probably will not work as intended, or they're going to release it, get it out there, and then they'll release an update. But I think people will be very skeptical of that. So yeah, but from my understanding, a lot of developers are sitting on releasing stuff until after Sim Update 8 is released, or they're asking, I don't know if they can ask Microsoft, say don't release it in the marketplace until after this. So well, it looks like a very stormy area below us here going into San Antonio. Okay, thanks, Joseph. Take a look. Let's see. Refresh that. Okay. I think I slept a little crooked last night. Sorry about that, I was muted. Alright, good stuff. Alright, so we got one more marker. Now I thought for sure we would see a reduction here. This is, what's our next marker here? Going to ABI, okay. Should see a reduction soon. Should. After this marker, I would expect for sure. Do thank everybody for coming in today and hanging out. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's flight. Thank you for the few folks who've left a thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. We do try to fly daily. Oh, so check this out. Last night I was just kind of tinkering around and somehow, I don't remember how I figured this out, but suddenly only had 7.3 gigabytes left on my internal storage of my Xbox Series S. Now, I don't know if... I think Train Sim World 2 had a bit of a big update. I think. I might be wrong. So I think that's what ate up a lot of what I had left. Either that or it was Trains or Flight Sim Flight Sim 2020. So I've had to, basically what I'm going to do, I've removed Train Sim World 2, but what I'm going to...
Guard 29er, 7 Fort Worth Center. Continue to Alpha India as planned.
What, Joseph? What are you going, oh God, about? So what I'm going to do for Train Sim World 2 is I'm going to download the core game, and then I'm only going to download whatever route. So like this coming Sunday, we're going to do another trip on Peninsula Corridor. So I'll only download the core and Peninsula Corridor, and then I'll delete Peninsula Corridor once we're done with that service. So that way the core game is still there, and I've got the room for it. And but I'm going to have to get, I really need to get an external, or one of those plug-in, you plug it in the back. Now they did come out with a 2 terabyte expansion card for the Xbox Series S, but they're very hard to come by. So I may have to just settle for a terabyte whenever I can put the money aside for it. No, I just removed it for right now, Joseph. It's fine. I just had to make sure I have space, because unfortunately Microsoft Flight Simulator is taking up a lot of space, and with every update it's, you know, there's a lot of space being used up. So I think if I get the 1 terabyte expansion for the Series S, then I can move Train Sim World 20 or Train Sim World 2 over to that and just leave it all there, and it'll be fine. So I just had, I'm like, man, I was going to run out of space very quickly. So I just I got rid of that, and so yeah, there we go. So yeah, I was running out of room very, very quickly. Which I was like, wait a minute, what did I do? I didn't buy anything new, you know? What's going on here? So yeah, it's but no, we'll do trains on Sunday, but I'm just going to download that core, the 3 original routes, and then whatever route I'm going to do, I'll just, you know, download that one when I'm ready to do it. And that'll just be the way it is. So I'll have to download it like Saturday sometime, Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, so that we're ready to go Sunday morning. But yeah, you run out of storage very quickly on this little thing. And, I could see why the Series X was very popular, because they, you know, you have more than enough space on there. So. But no, we'll still do Train Sim World 2. It's just that I had to really, I was like, dang, how did that happen? So anyway, all right. I think what I'm going to do, let's get past here, and then if I'm going to start descending, we'll do that, and then I'm going to run for a quick little break. Get ready to land. Let's see what we got coming up in front of us here. Okay, now look at this. This is the problem right here. Check this out. Oops. Oh, crap. Crap, 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 crap. Doggone it. Oh, wait, it's doing this thing. Man. Okay. So we got to get to 10,000 feet. I thought I totally screwed that up somehow, like I turned the. All right, so here's the problem right here, as we're noticing right now.
Fort Worth Center Guard 2907 flight level 300.
Guard 2907 Fort Worth Center. Continue as planned.
Come on. I want to go this way. So look at what we got to deal with right here. What does that look like to you? That looks like a big mess, right? Let's zoom out even further. Let's just have a look at what we're going to be contending with. And the farther out, the best. Nope, I think that's our as far as we can go. Yep. So we've got a bit of a mess here, don't we? Yep, we sure do. But see, I think we're on the correct track, but it's hard to tell. It's like it seems like we're flying along here, but it also seems like we're on this track right there. See? Like it's not sure which one to follow. And it's like we would go back here anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to STV. And then we're going to... yeah, I thought I'd done something wrong, Joseph. I panicked, but it's fine. So we're going to get to that marker down here. And we're going to take a look and see what we're in store for. So we've got quite a bit of distance to go still. So I'm gonna, although it should show us, right? We're zoomed out to 124 or 200 nautical miles, and that's only 140. So it should be showing us within the limits of where we're zoomed out at what we should be seeing. All right, so we are on that track there. So it looks like there's 3 tracks, right? The one that we're flying on, and then another one. No, okay. So it's almost like there is another one beneath us. So yeah, this is going to be all right. So we're going to have to be prepared to take some action here. We'll leave that right there. I'm going to go ahead and ask for 25,000 feet, 250, just so that we're starting to descend, and then we can go from there.
Fort Worth Center Guard 2907. Request flight level 250.
Guard 2907 descend and maintain flight level 250.
Descend and maintain flight level 250. Guard 2907.
All right, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to check something here, and we're going to try to solve this problem before we have to really think about it, if at all possible. So give me just a minute. Okay, so STV, we want to go to... So what we're going to do is, I'm going to pull open the flight plan. And what we want to do... From there, we're going to find... we're going to go right to route. And then we'll, right there. So that's what we want to go to, and then we should go into all that stuff. So we're going to have that handy. We're going to have. Let's get the proceed. We'll go there, and then we'll activate the approach, the procedure list. So yeah, we'll get all that done. Well, these touchscreens are really great, but it's very difficult to navigate them with the Xbox controller. Not gonna lie. So we're just going to cruise here for a little while. We're fine. And then once we get to that marker, then I'm going to hit that and go direct to, and then it should navigate us right there. Then I'll pull up the procedure menu, activate the approach, but we'll be kind of slowed down and everything. I think, let's just have a look here. No, it's the star. That's right. Okay, yeah, still one arrival. Okay, so yeah, and then approach 113 right. We need to be at 3,200 feet. Okay. Got it. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Sorry, I was kind of looking at what we're going to have to work with coming up here. I guess it's just you in the chat right now, Joseph. Nobody else is here. Mela hasn't popped in. Chris hasn't popped in. I guess Bex is at work. Mick might have had to got pulled into dad stuff. So that's the interesting part. So, kind of expanding on some knowledge here. The So the arrival point that I picked, which was supposed to be, yeah, STV1 all, right? It means you could go to any runway from there. So it's not like there's an arrival phase, particularly for 1-3 right, which is a bit difficult because we're used to having a, you know, a clear arrival into our point for our approach. So I think that's what that kind of threw a loop in the plans, because we've not really had to deal with this sort of situation before. I need to take my vitamins. Hold on. I got so wrapped up in my homework earlier that I forgot to take my vitamins earlier this morning. Whew. Good thing I looked. I was like, ooh. So this is a new issue that we've not encountered before, which is good in a way. It's fine. We're going to work through it. But yeah, this is something unexpected. So now we have to contend with. We're going to have to tell the plane what to do next, so that we can make all that happen within the appropriate amount of time that we'll have left to fly the remaining part of the flight. Because once we get to that marker there in front of us, that STV1, there's not going to be much left to it. Now, if you noticed, now we may. So there's STV. Now we may not have to worry about that. That may be the point that if we miss the approach, if we miss the landing, we go missed, then that may be you go back there and then circle back around and then try again. So that may be like the holding area. Possibly, I don't know. But it looks like from here that marker goes way past, I think, where we're supposed to be going. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. But once we get to Ryub, then we're going to see, but we're going to get to STV first, and then we're going to see what we got left to contend with. So, but we're in good shape, I think. But we won't know until we get closer. That's the limitations, though, of this particular Garmin system. I don't, it's very hard to navigate it without all the other knobs and everything, like what we had with the Bonanza or the G58 the other day, I think. So I think if we can, the next time I fly with something like this, I'm going to skip the King Air and go for something a little bit simpler, only because it's easier to kind of get a feel for what we've got coming up, what's going on. So the touchscreen stuff, this one, it's a bit more complicated to try to interact, because the other issue is too, when I hit the A button, right, that also controls the throttle. So as I'm trying to do stuff, I'm not trying to be slowing down, but then it's going to speed back up, So now, interestingly enough, if you look here, now that's 5. So if we go out a bit, are we going to have that? Are we going to see the same? Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. So we're going to keep that there, so that we can kind of keep an eye on things. And I'm gonna zoom this back. Well, I'll zoom it out once we get to STV. About that. So interestingly, look at this. We have this whole area. We're surrounded by clouds, but this particular area has none. Strange stuff. Weird, wacky stuff. So let's look at our. What's the weather forecast in San Antonio? 3015, and we are coming in on 13 rights. So we're going to have a bit of a crosswind.
29er7 contact Houston Center on 132.35. Good day.
132.35 guard 29er7.
305.
Houston Center guard 29er7 flight level 250.
Guard 29er7 Houston Center, continue to Sierra Tango Victor as planned.
Oh, I got it. Oh, I really misjudged my. So we got to get to. Let's get to 20.
Houston Center guard 29er7. Request flight level 200.
Guard 29er7, descend and maintain flight level 200.
Descend and maintain flight level 200 guard 29er7.
Sorry, I was about to sneeze and I was like, I had to mute, and I didn't think it was ever going to happen, but there we go. All right. We need to get zipping here, just to be on the safe side. We need to get our altitudes down. Either that changed, because I thought for sure it said 20,000 feet, and I think it updated for some reason. I don't know why. But we're fine. We got it under control. All right. So we're looking at 3015, I think. Yep. So we got a 15-knot crosswind coming into our landing runway. Some heavy gusts, 30 up to 30 knots. So we're going to be in a lot of cloud cover too. It looks like we've got cloud cover at 1,600 feet. Interesting. So I'll go to 15,000 here once we get to 20, and then we'll go from there. We can turn off the anti-ice on the engines. We're out of this, close to the stratosphere there. Landing lights on, just so that we have them on. Would like to be a well-lit plane coming in. Even though it's daytime, we'd like everybody to know we're in the area. Alright, so let's just have a look here. So it looks like, now it appears, and I can't really see until we get closer. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit here. I think it seems like once we get to Rube, it tells us to turn around and go back. But we're going to go to Rube, we're going to just tell it to go, and then we're going to activate the approach, and then that should clear out all the silliness, I hope. Fingers crossed. That should take care of it. But we'll find out here soon. Because what I don't want to have happen is we don't want to have this loop, continuous loop where we're going back, or that kind of stuff. So because this doesn't seem very reasonable. Like I would expect that if it was part of like the missed approach stuff, maybe. But even then we don't see that, and it's usually you go past the airport and keep going, and then you either turn a little bit left or right to your holding pattern. So this approach certainly seems to be, or this part of the flight plan seems to be broken, for lack of a better term. But we're going to deal with it. I think we've got a good plan to contend with it. So, yeah. All right, let's 3015. Yeah. Let's dial that in right there. And then we should get an update once we get to 15,000 feet. If we are round about the ballpark, or we have to go a little bit one way or the other. Like we're just going to go right there, because then I can zoom back out just a smidge if I need to.
Guard 2907, you are 90 miles north. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 13 right approach by a Sierra Tango Victor transition. Clear to Sierra Tango Victor.
Okay.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 13
I
right
think we
approach
just
by
lost
Sierra
our
Tango
ability
Victor transition.
to.
Clear to
Yep.
Sierra Tango Victor Guard 2907.
Guard 2907, climb and maintain flight
Nope,
level
we're staying right here.
290.
No, we're staying right
Climb
here.
and maintain flight level 290 guard 2907.
See, that's interesting that we're 50 nautical miles out, but I'm not seeing the area that we need to be looking at. Like I have to zoom out even further, which doesn't really help me much. So yeah, so it looks like here we get to Rube, and then it's like it wants us to turn around and go back. So we're gonna bypass that. We're gonna just go direct to Rube. No. Negative, Ghost Rider. Now it may be, not that I'm trying to ignore the ATC. There are some Air Force bases in the area here, so it just may be that because we're flying near or over them, we have to get to a higher altitude, and then we would go back down. But we're going to stay right here where we're at, and we're just going to contend with it. So, all right. So let me see. Let me look at this. Oops. So yeah, I apologize that the ATC is going to get a little bit agitated here. Matter of fact, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead down to 10,000 feet. And then we're going to... That way we're kind of set up already. I want to be a little bit ahead of the curve.
Please expedite your climb flight level 290.
Because there's a lot of things that are going to happen very quickly. So we need to be in good shape to contend with all those things. More lessons learned at... Hey, hello, fish guns. You're right in time for some fun stuff. We're coming into San Antonio. We've got a bit of a messed up sort of approach here, or arrival, whatever you want to call it. So you're here just in time to witness all that funness.
Please expedite your climb flight level 290.
So it seems like when we get to here, we're supposed to turn here, and then we're supposed to line up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. Once we get here, I'm going to activate the approach, because those markers that are there are the ones that are in place for the final approach. Those are the markers in the system. You know, that's what we were expecting to see. Sorry. So we're just going to get down here to 10,000 feet, and then I'm going to direct us to there after we get to here, just to make sure. And then if anything else, then I'm going to activate the approach once we get there. I'm almost feeling very certain.
Please expedite your climb flight level 290.
Oops. That I think, now I could be reading this whole thing wrong, which is possible. And that we're not going to go to Rube and then be told to go back. That may be part of the misprocedure for some reason or another, which is fine. We'll contend with it. But yeah, so that's what we've got to deal with here. But I think we're going to be okay. We're kind of making sure we are where we need to be, or as close as where we need to be.
Houston Center on 134.2. Good day.
Going to 134.2 guard 297. Houston Center guard 297 is passing 10,200 feet, climbing flight level 290.
No, we're not. We're not flying.
Guard 297, Houston Center altimeter
3030. Aha!
So
We weren't too far off. Well, 0.15. But that's not too bad. All right.
Guard 297, please expedite your climb flight level 290.
No, we'll hang right where we're at. Thank you very much. Cool. What setting do you fly on? Well, I have all the AI traffic off, because what I discovered early on, fish guns, is that the AI traffic either sits on a runway once they land. They don't clear the runway very quickly, or it's just you're getting all these calls that's telling them to descend and maintain, and it's like they don't never do what they're supposed to do. So I've turned them off. I try to fly with the live weather whenever possible. So I try to do that. But I've turned the AI traffic off completely. It was getting too annoying, and I was like, why? And I thought that was other players within the sim, and it turned out no, that's the AI traffic that was acting goofy. So yeah. So I'm really perplexed. We are near our point here, and I can't get the can't see the area in front of us of what's going to happen once we get to here, but I'm just going to have to trust it and get there and see what happens next. So, bit of a mystery.
Guard 2907, please expedite your climb, flight level 2900.
So we have to be at, by the time we get to REUBE, we have to be at 3,200 feet. So I'm going to hang right here. Actually, I think I'm just going to get to. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Let's go to 5,000. I know I'm going to really irritate the crap out of the ATC now, but I think at least then I'm in a really good position for everything else after this. So we're going to kind of make our own decisions based on the information that we have available.
Guard 2907, please expedite your climb, flight level 2900.
That was one of the things that when I first got into the forums, a lot of people said, just if you see something and you think you know like the best decision you can make to set yourself up for a good landing or whatever, make that decision. Don't listen to what ATC always tells you. You know, especially the in-game ATC. Now that's something that I think they're going to try to work on to improve, but there's no telling when that would happen. So Nope. And unfortunately, this is a common problem in this sim, is that you're supposed to be at a lower level preparing for your approach and everything, and it's going to tell you to go to this really insane altitude. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, I'm still not seeing clearly. Dang it. All right, we're just going to have to wait till we get closer, I guess. I really don't know what to expect here. But I've got a plan, and we're going to activate the plan if necessary.
Guard 2907, please expedite your climb, flight level 290.
I want to drop some flaps so he starts slowing down here. Go bumping through the clouds here. All right, we're almost there. Okay, this will be the, let's see what happens. But either way, I think what I'm going to do, let's see if we turn towards
vector climb, flight level 290.
We should turn towards Rube, R-E-U-B-E. And so that's another marker there. That's still the marker. So it just didn't, it's gone from in front of us here. Alright, so
Guard 297 descent and maintain 4,100 feet.
there we go. Alright. So we're in good shape, so it's not a very far trip to 4,100. Right? So we should turn to, there we go, we're turning. That's a good sign. All right. So once we get to okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the approach once we get to that marker. So let's go ahead and let's zoom in here and go to procedure. Right. Procedures. And I'm going to activate, I'm just going to hit that activate because we've loaded all the information necessary for our stuff. So hopefully, despite what we see, everything should work according to plan. We're going to try to, let me see if I can't look one more time here and see if we can understand what is possibly going to happen here. It's very difficult because whatever's happening is kind of hidden. It seems like there's a point, like the line goes past here. I don't know if that means that's a turnaround point or what. It's very unclear, and I can't really determine, but I think it's very difficult to figure it out. So we're just going to have to trust it, and I think, oops, I saw a glimpse of it there, just so, I guess we could have gone straight to Rube. I wonder if that's what that means. Like that track would have taken us right there instead of taking us to STV. That might be what that is, but we're going to find out here in a second. So lots of interesting information today, that's for sure. Lots of homework to do, I think, just to kind of get an idea of why this happened the way it did. But part of it is I need to take better notes for the flight so that I get a better sense of what I need to be doing, what I need to be looking for. So all those things I have to pay better attention to. But it might be fine the way it is. I don't know. I think I picked the right bit of information here to use. See, it does look like we're going to turn there anyway. But I kind of get the feeling like this track would be if we flew from that previous marker right to here. Like I could have activated the approach and it would have just vectored me right to there. And we would have just skipped this part. So I think we're good. I think we're in good shape here. And I think what I'll do is once we get close to that marker, I'm just going to activate the approach, like when we're like 2 or 3 nautical miles from it.
2907, contact San Antonio approach on 118.05. Good day.
Okay.
118.05 for guard 2907. San Antonio approach guard 2907 4,100 feet.
Guard 2907 San Antonio approach altimeter 30.20. Continue to reuse as planned.
Where are you? 30. Oop. I'm looking at the wrong stuff. 3020. Go. There's that. So yeah, I think that descent to 5,000 feet paid off for us, even though it was against the rules. breaking the law. But that's okay. We're fine. Now we just have to get this to work, and we should be on the ground momentarily. So once we turn in, I'll drop the flaps one more time, drop the landing gear, and then we should be all set. I think we're going to, once we get there, we should go to 3,200 feet or 3,000 feet. One of the two. I love San Antonio, though. It's a really neat place. If you ever get a chance to visit there, I highly recommend it. They've got this cool river walk, and they got the little gondolas there in the river, and you can take a ride. It's kind of like a little bit touristy. You know, they talk a little bit about the area and stuff like that, but it's really cool. Lots of little restaurants along the way, all kinds of food. You got your typical bar and grill stuff like... what's it called? They got like those some of the stuff that you would see in the mall basically along there, but you have a lot of smaller restaurants, kind of mom and pop kind of places. Really cool place. Really enjoyed that area. All right, so let's see if we can zoom out again and get a better sense of So, all right, so it looks that, check that out. So right there, it's saying we need to go there. Right, that would be the turnaround. So as soon as we get a little bit closer, I'm just going to go ahead and activate the approach, and then that should take us right to where we need to be. Should being the key word. Get a little bit closer. Actually, I think let's go ahead and do it now. There we go. Perfect. It took... yes. There we go. Nope. No. What are you doing? What are you doing? No. What are you doing? No. No. Where are you going? Oh, goodness gracious. What is it doing? All right. Let's go to flight plan. We got to get it back on... flight plan. Okay, I don't know why it just turned off of there, but it did. All right, let's just group direct to. Wow, it's like I just lost all sound. Why are we turning back towards it? All right, I think what I have to do is this. Let's go ahead and turn off the autopilot. We are not going the way we want to go. We're going to get back on track when we activate the autopilot again. That's okay. We're going to get this solved here real quick. Wow, we are losing a lot of altitude. That is not what I want to do. Come on, why is it just ignoring me? Oh, come on. It says we're... No, it's like I'm trying to get it to go back on track and it's not. It's turning, but it's not turning back to the left yet. Why is it not going there? Why? We're still turning. Let's see if it fixes itself. If not, we're gonna have to do our own thing. See, it says we're coming back on track. There. Hey, Amela, how are you? Welcome. Let's see if it turns back around. We're still turning, so I think we're going to be okay. Let's see if it fixes itself. This is a very weird situation to be finding ourselves in. I think it's going to fix itself. See if we can get it to turn around here. Still going. Still going. Still going. Let's see if it fixes itself. Come on, fix yourself, fix it. Come on, come on. We should be heading... Why does it say the point is north? We're just stuck in a loop here, it seems. We're not turning back towards our waypoint there. Okay. Alright. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and deactivate the autopilot again. And we're going to fly towards it and see if we can't get it to pick back up. So, interesting turn of events. It's fine. We're going to be okay. I'm okay, thanks, Samela. We just had a little bit of a weird sort of situation unfold here, but we're going to be fine. It's just not wanting to cooperate. We've had this kind of a weird sort of plan today. I didn't write down all the pertinent information. I thought I picked everything correctly, but it's not wanting to go. So what I could do, in theory, once I get a little bit closer, what I may do is just direct it to the next marker. And so what I'm going to do is well, I don't have the autopilot on. I need to be at about 3,200 feet. So what I may just do is try to get there and then See, the nav mode should be off. So, so hopefully, it's fine. You know, it's a bit of a learning process. I thought I had all the information that I would need. Let's go ahead and get the ear down here and get the last bit of flaps down, so we can just kind of get this ready to happen one way or the other. So once I am a little bit closer, what I may just do is direct it to. Matter of fact, let's see if we can just get it to go there. If I hit the autopilot, the nav, it should take us there. Nope, it's turning us away again. All right. Nope, that's not working. Okay. Okay, well, we're just going to put it on the ground ourselves, folks. This isn't working for some reason. It's okay. Learning process here. That's fine. So we're going to pass that marker, and then it should light up that we're on our way to the next one, and then we'll go from there.
Guard 297 descend and maintain
Okay.
3,200 feet.
Descend and maintain 3,200 feet. Guard 297.
If I hit... Nope. Let's see. Is it going to line this up or not? That's the thing I don't know. Is it going to turn us around or not? It seems like it is. Okay. Let me see if I can get this to settle at 3,200, and that'll get us a little bit. It's like it's not wanting to go to that next. Yeah, it's stuck right there. Activate next leg. There we go. All right, now it should turn us around. There we go. Now I think we're okay. Whew. Man, that was a chore and a half right there. We're not out of the woods yet, folks, but we're almost there. So we're getting there. We're fine. We're gonna turn this around, get it lined up, and we'll be all set here. So just a bit of a wonky approach, that's for sure. But I think we're going to be okay. We didn't pass the airport, so we didn't get like one of those missed approaches, and then it tells us to go all kinds of different places and whatnot. So I think we're going to be okay here. Looks like we're turning in. So once we turn in and line up a bit more here, which looks like that's what we're going to do, then I'm going to hit the approach button, and then we should be all set here. There we go. So yeah, we just had to kind of get in front of the system because it just didn't seem like it was going, it wasn't going to work the way we hoped it would. But we got close enough. We're on our way here. It's fine. right there. Perfect. That engaged, so that once we are close enough, it should engage the localizer, and then we should be on the ground. But we're at the right altitude, so that if it doesn't work, we'll take control, put it on the ground, and be done with it. So I think we're okay. So let's go ahead and get this minimized. I think we've already activated the approach, so I think we're good to go there. Let's just make sure we do it again, just to be on the safe side. I think it is activated. Okay. Wow, looks like it's raining here. Alright, well, we're almost done, folks. Thank you all for hanging out, watching this craziness unfold today. It's all good. It's a bit of a learning exercise, always. The more we learn, the better off we will be, I think, in the future. But the interesting thing is the different avionics systems that they have in these planes. You get used to one thing, and then it doesn't go the way you think it will go. So, yeah, a bit of a learning process, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Guard 2 Niner, 7 you are 16 miles northwest of San Antonio. Contact San Antonio Tower on 119er.8 when inbound.
Tower on 119er.8 guard.
We should get one more altimeter reading here.
San Antonio Tower guard 29er 715 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 13 right approach.
Guard 297 San Antonio Tower. Altimeter 30.17 wind 006 at 22. Cleared ILS runway 13 right approach.
Okay.
San Antonio Tower guard 297 inbound ILS runway 13
thank you, Joseph.
right approach.
Thank you, Mella. It's
Guard
always a learning
297
process.
San Antonio Tower. Altimeter 30.17 wind 006 at 22. Cleared ILS runway 13 right approach.
Cleared ILS runway 13 right approach guard.
All right, San Antonio Tower, we got the clearance. Thank you, Clarence. We don't need to be told 30 more times that we're cleared to land. We just look at, let's get this to 3017. Just, otherwise, I'm going to look at that, and if I happen to see it, it's going to be like, oh, we're not at the right altitude. What? All right, there we go. Oops. Change. There we go. So that's the part of the thing that I've learned is if you kind of know the way things are supposed to work, and you can kind of just tell the system what you want it to do, you can get that done. It can be very frustrating and very nerve-wracking, I guess, in a way. But we're fine. You know, it's easy to like, you know, lose our shit, so to speak. But that doesn't solve anything. That doesn't get us any closer to the runway. So if we just keep trying to, like, let's try this and see if this engages this, and it did. So, but, you know, could I have done it a little bit quicker? Yeah, I could have. But we made the decisions and got where we need to be, or where we're at now. So that's the important thing. Even if it took us a while to get there. But that's fine. That's just the way it is. All right. So we should be good to go. We're just going to keep making our way here. We're not on... the glide slope hasn't gone green yet, so we're still searching for that, but we're on the localizer, we're locked in, so we're just waiting for that to light up and then to nose over for our glide slope all the way into the airport there. So Alamo's right in front of us. That's that big marker right there. That one. So we're almost past that. That's the waypoint right there. Even though it's not a waypoint in our system, we have to pass over that. So that's the marker I was looking for to make sure that we are on the right path. There we go. Perfect. There it is. Ta-da! I love it when a plan doesn't come together, but we make it come together nonetheless. Ta-da! So there we are. We've got the green glide slope is lit up. That's the important thing. We are descending as normal. The plane is doing its thing to be ready because of that crazy wind. Now, my only concern is it does kind of feel like we're losing altitude very quickly well before the runway. So we have to keep an eye on that for sure. We don't want to go too low too quick. So we will keep an eye on that. We got to slow down a little bit more here.
Clear to land runway 13 right guard 2907.
We're still showing red. So we have to be ready. We might have to fly this in our own if it seems like we're going to be too short of the runway altitude wise. But we may be on target. It's hard to say because it feels like we're losing altitude very quickly. Much faster than we probably need to. But we'll keep an eye on that. Wow, how much more do I need to slow down there, eh? There we go, perfect. Alright, so we should still be going. So we're good on that. We've got the runway in sight there. What does Amela do every day, Joseph? Eat. That's what Amela's going to do today. Eat. Oh.
500.
All right, there we go. We're set. Oh, nice. Get to stay home and relax. That's always a good thing.
500.
Yep. How much more time is you going to tell me 500? There, Mr. Numpty. Joseph, come on. You already know the answer to what Amila's doing every day. You shouldn't even have to ask that. All right, we're getting over the threshold here. Yeah. Over the threshold, power back. Let's put it on the ground, eh? Talking Canadian now. Watch too much of the ice pilot stuff. Come on, settle down, plane. I know we got like a long run. Oops. Well, there we are. We're on the ground. That's the important part.
Guard 2907, exit runway when able.
There we are. We made it. Do you know the velocity? The velocity 1, that's the flight sticks, I think. Camilla, is that what you're talking about? I've heard of it. I've seen pictures of it, and I heard it's supposed to be phenomenal, but I don't know. I've heard some good reviews. Thank you, Joseph.
Going to 121.
Well, there we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to San Antonio, Texas. The local time actually is, I think, 6:49 in the morning. It's not sun. The sun hasn't come up just yet.
7 taxi to parking.
Guard 297 taxi to General Aviation Parking using taxiway Delta Golf Alpha Cross runway 4.
Taxiing to General Aviation Parking via taxiway Delta Golf Alpha Cross runway 4 guard 297.
Engaging autopilot.
So, as usual, on behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to thank you today for flying with us today. We know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures, and we are glad that you chose to fly with us today. It's a drone type plane. Oh, I've not heard of it. Is it the the Velocity? Yes, I've seen it. It was part of the Game of the Year edition. Yes, I tried it once. I could not get to grips with that thing. It did not make sense at all. So I tried it. Yeah, it's an interesting idea, but trying to get it control it was just too much of a headache, to be honest. Do join us tomorrow in the Cessna 172. We're going to be flying from Yellowknife to Hay Fork up in Canadian Northwest Territories. Should be a really nice flight. We'll make sure that weather isn't too cold and we have a nice flight for that. So it shouldn't take very long to do, but we should have some nice scenery along the way. And so do join us for that. And then, so yeah, good stuff. We made it work. That's the important part. Never forget. As long as you can make it work one way or the other, whether we had to land the plane manually or trust the systems, we got it done, and that's the important thing. So we're there. So, ta-da! Been to this airport a couple times. Good stuff. Yeah, it should be a good flight. Yeah, I'm good. I wanted to do it, although honestly, if I had the plane to do it, I'd like to go from Yellowknife up to Delaney, which is what they fly in the DC. I think it's the DC-46. Like they have this huge old World War II plane that it's big radial engine planes, and they just massive engines, and they go up there flying cargo and sometimes a few passengers or whatever up there. I'd really like to be able to do that, but we don't really have a plane capable of it to really give it a proper go. So now they do use a DC-3. They have a flight service from Yellowknife to Hay River and back. So they do like a passenger service round trip a couple times, I think, and all that. Because I think the bigger airport is the bigger airport in Hay River. No, the bigger airport is in Yellowknife, and so then some people go from there and then take the Buffalo service to Hay River. So. Yeah, really looking forward to that tomorrow. Well, this flight took a little bit longer than expected, but it's okay. Sometimes that's just the way it works. Appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out today. Nice to have you all here. Even if you stopped by for a few minutes and had to go, it's all good. Sorry that I wasn't always paying attention to the chat today, so if I missed anything, I do apologize. It wasn't anything personal. I was trying to contend with this situation. And sometimes that means I have to ignore the chat, unfortunately. So I can't do both, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll park it over here. Call it a day. See what our total flight time was. I'm hoping I get credit for this one because I didn't get credit for yesterday's flight for some reason. Don't know why, but that's happening sometimes, apparently, from what I understand in the forums. People are losing their stuff in their logbook. They do a flight and it doesn't never show up, or it was there and then it totally disappears. So. It looks like another, nope, that might be a smaller plane than ours. That might be the Baron next to us, I think. Doesn't have the wingtips like my plane does. Yeah, that might be a Beechcraft Baron. I think it is, based on what we flew the other day. Yeah, I think it is. Missed my last mission. Oh, Addies. Come on now. Don't pull a Davidoff, please. Alright, so there we are. Let's go ahead and get this shut down. Oops. Yep.
Oral warning, okay.
I hate when it does that. Let's get all of our lights off. There we go. Yeah, I know. All right, an hour 53. That's not too bad. We got credit for our takeoff and landing. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, 6:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK time in the Cessna 172. So do enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. It's hump day. The weekend's almost here. There you go. So thank you all for coming in. I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Live long and prosper.